All right, once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the host institution, the University of North Dakota, we welcome you to Fargo and the Fargo Regional ahead of the 2023 NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championships. Practice wrapping up for the tournament's #1 overall seed and the Fargo Regional #1 seed as well from the Big Ten with a record of 26 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. We welcome in the University of Minnesota. Joining us this afternoon will be head coach Bob Motzko, and he is joined up here by student athletes defenseman Brock Faber and forward Jaxon Nelson. For those of you new to our press conferences this afternoon, we'll follow the same protocol as we have, beginning with an opening statement from Coach Motzko. At that time, we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes only so that we can dismiss them, and we'll finish with questions for Coach. Just a couple of other housekeeping items. Again, a reminder, no live streaming of this press conference. It is being recorded, and an archived version will be available in the virtual press box following it. We will have a wireless mic for questions. Just ask if you raise your hand and extend the courtesy of a name and affiliation with your first question. And finally, if you haven't already, we do ask that you silence your cell phones. So with all that out of the way, welcome in and turn it over to Coach Motzko. Thank you.
All right, had to do that. Well, we're excited, obviously. You're going to get that from every coach. I mean, this is what you play for. You know, at the start of the season, there are only 16 teams that get in this darn thing. And you just want to be one of 16, and that's what, you know, the position we're at. But we're also excited to get on the road. We've been home for a month. We kind of getting on the bus, coming up to leaving snow and coming to snow. It's been a good trip for us so far. We're excited to be here.
All right, thank you, Coach. I will open up the questions for the student athletes.
Jaxon, Brock, Jess Myers from the Rink Live. How is it different this year as opposed to getting on a plane to Colorado or getting on a plane to Massachusetts? Kind of bring you back to an earlier era in your career, making a bus trip?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach said, we are happy to get out of town. Obviously, this is the hockey you dream of playing when you're a kid, and yeah, it's going to be a fun atmosphere. You know, obviously it's a beautiful rink out there, and you know the guys are ready to go. So exciting times for sure.
Yeah, I think everyone's excited to play. I kind of been looking forward to this since we lost last year, and this is what you play for the end of the year. So I think everyone's excited and ready to go.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis, start to you. For both of you guys, playoff hockey tends to get tighter defensively. Do you change your approach at all?
I think we just stick to the same game. We like to get pucks deep, and if we can be able to do that and drive the puck low and be able to get back on the back check and prevent teams from scoring on the rush, I think that's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think the details obviously become a lot more important, the little details within the game, and then obviously there's a lot more sacrifice with playoff hockey, you know, blocking shots, you know, taking a hit to make a play, little things like that. You know, those are things that need to happen, and you know, it's again, like I said, it's the most exciting time of the year, and you know, this is what it's all about. So.
Just from the Rink Live again. Your coach said last Saturday it's late in the season to be learning lessons, but you'd learn from the Michigan game. What was the lesson? What did you learn?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to take from that game. I think it's, you know, obviously it was a disappointing outcome, but you know, we made little mistakes throughout the game, and you know it costed us against a team that good. So, like I said, just focusing on little details in our game, kind of touching it up. I mean, you know, we've played 2 games in the last month or so, so it's, you know, it's obviously expected, but no excuses. We learn from it, and we're ready to start playing again. So.
Yeah, I think it just shows a couple mistakes can lead their goals, and like you said, in playoffs it's a lot tighter. So if we can just manage those mistakes, I think we'll be in a good shape.
Randy Johnson, Star Tribune again. You have a goalie that has Frozen Four experience. What have you seen out of Justin this year? How he's grown, how he's improved as the years gone by?
Yeah, he's just a calm goalie. No matter what happens, I think his head's always there. He's always ready to make the next save for us. I think that's something that he's learned over the years is he gets scored on, he's just looking for that next save and getting the next stop. So I think that's just something that helps us, just that he's calm and that we can play for him.
Yeah, I think he's obviously he's the rock back there, and he has been ever since he's took over the net. And his demeanor, his day-to-day, his lifestyle, just how he carries himself. He's obviously a tremendous leader, and we all look up to him in that aspect. He's resilient. He loves this program, and he's obviously pretty darn good at goalie too. So. It's obviously makes my job a lot easier knowing, closers back there, and same with our whole team. So, he's the life, and, it all works through him. So.
All right, with that, we'll thank both Brock and Jaxon. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll let cameras reposition and open up the questions for Coach.
One big difference, I'll just jump in, okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Between Loveland and Worcester, we're the most hated team here. So let's just get right to it. If any of the Green fans show up, you know who they're against, the two other Minnesota teams. So there's a big difference this week. We are the most hated team in the state. So we got a target on us. So we are the underdog.
Bob, could you tell us a bit about Quinnipiac? What do you see out of them? A very veteran team.
Canisius? Okay. I didn't study film on Quinnipiac. So you got me. You stumped me. They've got an older lineup. They've got a heck of a power play, and it's highly ranked. I think it's top 15 in the country. But then when we break it down, great sticks. Guys that get the puck, they can. We got to be a disciplined team tomorrow because they one of those guys has 90 some points, the other's got 60 points, and good team speed. They're on a roll right now. They had a 2 out of 3 series, a 2 out of 3 series, and then last week they've won with only 2 losses through that. And so by doing that, their goaltender numbers are excellent. You're catching a team that is feeling it right now, and that's 8 games in 3 weeks. All right, they got us beat there, so we're going to be much better this week from coming off last week, but they've earned their way here, and they're gonna play that way.
You just touched on a bunch of big points in Canisius gameplay. Do you notice a big difference in Eastern teams' gameplay versus maybe the Midwest? Do you prepare for them differently?
No. I think we look at how we play and the tendencies that we could see in there, and we'll go into all those that we have to do and we have to be on top of tomorrow. And we have to be on top of it quickly tomorrow. So we really just spend our time watching Canisius and not an East-West thing. And we've, over time we're going to play all over the country when you get our chance. So we look at the problems that they cause, why they're having success, what they've been doing most recently. Get scouting reports from people out east. That's one thing that I'm sure they did the same thing. Called people out here, and there's no secrets anymore. We have a policy you got to send tape. The NCAA has to get rid of that policy, by the way. Send the tape of your last game. We all have everybody's games for the whole season, so they're all online with a click of you get them in 2 seconds. So there are no secrets. We got to be prepared to go.
Jess?
Bob, it was a different lifetime for you, obviously, but I think to 2015 when your team and Michigan Tech played just a whale of an overtime game in this building. Just kind of fun memories coming back here?
You know how old I am now. I can't, I'm going back to 15. But, it was, that game got a little crazy. And, the first thing I asked is what bench we had today, because I want, because we lost the next night. And I want to make sure we were on a different bench. We are. Not that I'm superstitious, but I want to make sure of that. But that's an NC. How many? Like the first night of playoffs last week, 6 games were played, 5 went into overtime. How many in we've all. I know I said it this week, and it is the truth. The difference between a 1 seed and a 4 seed, a lot of times, that's somebody asked me that, like, well, what the St. Cloud's here and there are 6 versus the 7. Like, the difference between the 6 and the 7 was like a 0.0017. Like, okay, like that. So it doesn't matter. It's how you're playing, and then the depth of college hockey right now is, you saw it for the last couple decades now, last decade and a half for sure. There are good coaches out there, good players out there, and of course, I've been a 4 that's beat a 1. I've been a 1 that's got beat by a 4, and the more you're in this thing, you live it all.
All right. Anything else for Coach? Coach, anything else for us?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I passed.
Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you to joining us.